Yet on it, there was a gorgeous meticulousness with how he played football. He cherished order and calmness, and these facets of his game would engender respect and even love for him in return from teammates and coaches. The Super Bowl on January 9, 1977, was indicative of Stabler's talent, but also his ability to morph into whatever the game plan needed. The game, initially at least, didn't go as well as that canceled practice, though. Stabler's offense was able to move the football, but early drives ended with field goals instead of touchdowns. This caused John Madden to go nearly apoplectic on the sideline. Then Stabler approached him and would say something prophetic. "The offense came off the field and I was really pissed," Madden says in the book Badasses. "My thought process was immediate. Gotta get 7, goddammit. Don't want too many threes. I believed in finishing and I'm thinking, fuck it. We gotta get that ball in the end zone, goddammit." So Stabler put his hand on my shoulder and said, "John, don't worry. There's plenty more where that came from." He was like a little kid. It kind of calmed me down. I thought, shit, we are moving the ball, and he is right. There is plenty more where that came from. One of Stabler's greatest strengths, the late Al Davis told me, was his ability to remain the same person under great duress on the field as he was off the field. No one kept their composure like he did. It was very skilled, but also very cool. "When you're the quarterback," Stabler said, "everyone looks to you for leadership. If you look like you're panicking, the team is going to look at you and say, why the fuck should I follow that guy?" Stabler's coolness would soothe Madden, and his accuracy would pick apart the Vikings. A 16-0 halftime lead grew to 26-7 in the fourth quarter and a 32-14 final. Defense won that game. The running game won the day. But the game illustrates one of the lesser-known aspects of Stabler's personality, his ability to adapt and not allow his ego to succumb to jealousy or insecurity. Stabler wouldn't be perfect in this endeavor, but he was damn close. Stabler had entered that Super Bowl as the AFC's top passer, with 2,737 yards and 27 touchdowns. That season, his 7th in the NFL, Stabler completed 66.7% of his throws, and in the Super Bowl, though he would only pass 19 times, he averaged 15 yards a pass. His throws to the game's most valuable player, Fred Biletnikoff, led to touchdowns on 3 of Biletnikoff's 4 catches. After the game, the Raiders partied. This is to be expected, and while the drinking lasted most of the night, the alcohol didn't inhibit Stabler's ability to think deeply. The thoughtful and contemplative part of his personality was another facet few people outside of his Raiders and familial orbits knew. "I remember how relieved we were to win," Stabler recalled. "There were a lot of people who thought the Raiders would never win a Super Bowl." There's a pause. "There were people who thought I'd never make it to a Super Bowl. Yet there I was, this guy from a small Alabama town, a Super Bowl winner. There I was. Unbelievable, isn't it?" Flashback to the AFC Divisional Playoff game against the Miami Dolphins on December 21, 1974. The game is in Oakland, 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. The Dolphins have a 5-point lead over the Raiders. Stabler has the football in his hands. The completions came quick and sharp, 6 yards, 20 yards, darts and lobs and strikes. It was vintage Stabler. The football eventually ended up at the Miami 8-yard line with 35 seconds left. Oakland took its final timeout. Madden remembers having to say little to Stabler during that pause. "He would get in such a rhythm sometimes," says Madden, "it was best to just get out of his way." Smart coaches do that. For Stabler in that moment, like others, time would slow. Remember playing in the backyard? There was a casualness to it, no pressure. That is how he played, even at the most crucial, pressure-blasted moments. Once the timeout ended and the play began, Stabler began to scramble. Then Miami defensive lineman Vern Den Herder grabbed Stabler from behind. Stabler began to fall, and as he did, he managed to get a modicum amount of power into the throw. Not much, just enough. The football floated into the hands of Raiders running back Clarence Davis. The final score, Raiders 28, Miami 26. This play would forever be known as the Sea of Hands, the irony being that Davis had notoriously bad